Hi. Yeah, you guys heard elementary school? Yeah, I'm going middle school. None of this is cute. It was fondly remembered as the time of hormones, blossoming friendships, and more hormones. Middle school was those awkward 2 years where no one acted or looked quite right, and we're all trying to find ourselves. Except for Maddie Connor, that girl looked beautiful all the time. I don't know how she did it. Check every yearbook photo, she looks fine. It's ridiculous. I can like connect the dots with my acne. She has nothing. There have been innumerable works of literature that have been written chronicling why middle school is horrible, why nothing good happens there, and why it should be banned from existence. Completely slipped over, illegalized. I wrote my own. On some points, I agree. Middle school was scary. I, unfortunately, vividly remember my first day of middle school. I have flashbacks. It starts in my mom's Honda. Hi, Mama. And we're pulling up to the building that will be my home away from home, please excuse the overused phrase, for the next 6 years. I am ready to pee myself. I don't know what's going to happen, I don't know who's going to be there, and I'm honestly about to die. So we pull up to the middle school entrance, and my mom says, okay, bye, smoke big, bye, I'll see you at dinner, love you. Mother of the year, she just kicks me out. I'm like, oh, okay, let's do this thing. I walk in, and I'm blown away. I'm knocked off my feet. I am literally knocked off my feet. 2 upperclassmen shoved me to the ground. I don't know who they are, but they're on my list. I don't know why we were allowed to have school with those animals. We have a whole news controversy why gorillas shouldn't be placed in enclosures with small children. It didn't end well. Now, after I brought myself to my feet, I started walking through the halls and attempted to orient myself with the map that was so graciously presented to me. That map was not helpful. I don't know how to navigate. There's 4 floors and they all look the same. The gym's in the middle wing, and then the auditorium's on the other wing. And there's 2 theaters. I don't know which one I'm supposed to go to. Then the bell rang. Miles and miles of screaming children rowdy from a whole summer vacation. I don't know what kind of pills they were on, but they were crazy stuff. I'm screaming. I see one girl, I think it was, I don't know who it was. I think it was Jessica Thalheimer's. I'm running, I'm ducking. I eventually find myself in a room inhabited by a Brooklynese woman who claims she uses margarine because it was cheaper. Already, to put it simply, I was scared witless. I was scared witless. You keep showing you cannot. The rest of the day was a blur of people, of faces that I knew, of faces that I didn't know, of faces that scared me because puberty started to set in. God help us all. My first thought after I got home was I am so full of excitement for this school year. I mean, the learning that I will engage in. I was already nervous for Mr. Kundell screaming, "Word 1!" on Friday. And Mr. Gilroy's scary voice, finger on the page, hand in the air. If you drop those textbooks, I will take off a point. And I shouldn't forget to mention, this is the first year we start to learn a second language. I barely knew how to English. Excuse me, Excusez-moi, monsieur, parlez-vous français? Si, senor. Not fun, not fun. I had a good teacher though, so it's all good. Eventually I got into the swing of things. I had most, if not all, of my homework on time. And despite the bad excuses, they would always catch me and take off points.
My dog ate it. I had it with me, I swear. I dropped it? Steve Gilroy, come on. You know you love me.
I also tolerated the cafeteria food. For those of you who know me, I don't like food, especially cafeteria food. Pretty sure one was crawling, but I don't know. I don't know. And there was a whole other new development, extracurricular activities. There were clubs, teams, associations, societies for, you name it, anything. Science, math, sports, drama, art, music. What I'm getting at is there were a lot of clubs. I don't know all of them. I spent the first few weeks trying to find my niche. I started with the cross-country team, if anyone remembers. You don't have to. I was bad. Sports and I haven't gotten along since I came out of the womb. That was my first race and I lost. My mom tells me, honey, you've already been bad at sports. You just came in last in everything. Whatever, Mom, whatever. So I moved on. I tried out for the play and I figured out I was born for the stage. I was bit by the acting bug. The lights flooded in. I was good. I was good. That may come as a surprise to some of you because I'm such a shy and demure person in school. I never talk. It's pitiful. Besides academics and extracurriculars, someone told me that there were dances back then. Listen, I was not cool. I was not hip. I was not with it. I was not on fleek. I did not go to these dances. My friends say, oh, it was such a good part of our school experience. You have to include this. I don't remember them. I don't know what happened there. People told me crazy things happened there. I don't want to know. The remainder of the year involved tears, tests, tears, bottle rockets. Mine went the highest. None of you should forget that. Stabbing myself with needles in home ec. Miss Kaplan walks up to me, what are you doing? I honestly have no idea. Sweetheart, it's 8 in the morning. You think this is functioning? I woke up like this, and that's not a good thing. I also remember changing for gym, which was the most awkward experience of my life. I would hide in the bathroom stalls. People like, where's Michael you're going? I'm going to the stalls. Y'all gonna look at me, and I don't appreciate that. In English, we looked for symbolism in every single book. Thank you, Essie Hinton. If she's here tonight, I want to find her. I want to say something. Those books were exhausting. They weren't good. I know my books. I would also dress up for debates and social studies. The pinnacle of the year was when Mr. Gilroy would grow those flowing locks from his chin, and he would be Abe Lincoln, the person he wanted to be when he grew up. But, you know, it's pretty much Abe Lincoln. 8th grade was a whole different ballgame. We had to prepare for high school, endure even more homework, and survive the end of the world. I vividly remember being in Miss Pellegrino's English class on the minute that the world was supposed to explode. Unfortunately, it did not, and we still had to take a test. We had to deal with puberty. Only thing I had to worry about was my voice dropping and other things dropping. But the girls, I have sincere and utter sympathy for you. I don't know how you do it every month. More power. We would need a whole other hour to talk about what you guys go through. And I made more friends. A lot of them are sitting at that table right over there. How you doing? Okay, that's good. Let's hope they still love me after this. There were lighthearted moments watching the adorable rivalry between Mr. Chen and Miss Pellegrino. I'm pretty sure I still have a Chen mark somewhere in my house, underneath all my books and papers and stuff. Getting hit in the face with Elmo the palm tree from Mr. Miller. I'm on very good terms with him. It's fine. It's fine. Don't call child services. Now, love began to bloom in 8th grade. I told my mom this, that people were starting to go on dates. My mom's like,
What? I went on like my first date in senior year of high school. What's wrong with you?
hormones does not mean having fun. You know what I mean. Now, back to my original point. Middle school may have been, am I allowed to say hell? I'm gonna say hell. Hell. But it was worth it. Those 2 years gave us a chance to leave our formative educational years behind and prepare for our more mature years in high school, if you can call it that. Despite all of middle school's faults, and there are many, I wanted to include more, but there's a time constraint. There are many. I'm glad that we all got through it together because now we can look back at it and laugh.